Well, like I said, all Christophers are nerds.
Yep.
I say as I... We can hear you eating chips, bruh.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, we can.
I'll stop.
User wins. Alphanumeric.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Alphanumeric, the ReBoot podcast, where we discuss every episode of ReBoot from beginning to end, Season 1 to Season 4. Today, we are talking about one of my and Chris's, and I believe Cal's, all-time favorite episode of ReBoot so far, The Crimson Binome. Original air date December 17th, 1994 in Canada. And I believe in the US it aired in January on the 10th?
Something like that.
According to our sources, yes.
According to our sources, yes.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, I am one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I am the otherist host as well, NeoCal.
And I forgot to introduce myself, but I am your other host, AP Snidler.
The Snidler. An underrated Batman villain, I have to say. The Snidler.
Yeah,
See,
that is me.
I thought you were going for like an undergrads thing right there.
I was, actually.
Okay.
I cannot believe
Nice.
you got that. Guess you got two toys. Guess you got two toys in his Happy Meal. The Dougler.
Oh, that's so good.
I backed the movie Kickstarter.
Did that end up happening?
It is in post-production.
Oh, holy
Wow.
shit, really? Wow.
Sweet.
And I got a t-shirt for backing it with a picture of Cal's face on the front that says, "Hey, guy."
That's awesome.
That's amazing. You're going to need to, off air, you're going to need to tell me more about that because I completely forgot that was a thing.
I will. Yeah. It got funded by mostly Canadians.
As I would imagine.
All right. Speaking of Canadian shows, though, to the one we're actually reviewing, The Crimson Binome.
Yeah, so the episode opens on a harbor in Mainframe. We see like a very dapper Binome with a nice little top hat walking along the boardwalk there.
Yeah, and there's a dude with a cane and a steamboat hat.
Yep.
And this is when I don't mean to jump in here. You'll probably mention it already, but like everyone on the boardwalk here, they're from the bustle era. Like they're all dressed like they're from the late 1800s.
Oh,
Which
that's
makes-
interesting. Yeah.
Which
Actually,
makes perfect sense.
The lady with like the big like hoopy dress,
Yeah.
emphasizing her like derriere. That's like 1880, 1870s kind of like fashion.
all the way up to around the 1910s, I believe.
Yeah, and that's why you see the dude on the big ass bicycle
Penny
and
farthing.
steamboat hats, and yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't that the Uwer
It's
guy?
the Uwer guy, yeah.
Yeah.
and then we go back even like further to medieval era, and there's some kids, some children watching like a puppet show,
Yeah.
and it says Punch Card and QWERTY.
Yeah,
Do you two know what that's in reference to?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Punch and Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and QWERTY is fun because that's another computer thing, right?
Yeah.
well,
QWERTY.
yeah, Punch Card and QWERTY instead of Punch and Judy. I thought that was kind of cute.
Pretty clever, yeah.
Yeah, QWERTY, the first six letter keys on a traditional US keyboard.
So like, are the people here ultra hipster? So hipster they've gone back like 100 years, or is like ReBoot like kind of out of time? Like everybody's dressed a little bit differently. Like there's a dude with a literal baseball cap as well
Oh, yeah,
as
of
the
course.
number 5 on the docks. And I'm like, this is cool. I have questions, but they won't get answered. So moving on.
Uh,
A lot
Yeah.
of rhetorical questions in this show.
It's cool. I just was like, oh, that's a weird style.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hipster thing. They're bringing the.
I think it kind of fits, like the kind of innocent-looking villager types,
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's rewinding the
randomly-
clock a bit to
Yeah,
simpler times.
and then we're out on a lookout now, and you have your dapper banker Binome with the top hat, and
Oh,
sees
the
this-
director Binome is looking through a.
oh yeah, he's
telescope.
got the little
Binoculars, I mean.
there. Yeah,
on
Huh.
this in this whole scene going down, everyone is just so happy and friendly.
Yeah, I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice, very wholesome.
There's even like a cloud of birds that start flying, and
Is that what that was? I was so confused what that was
Wait,
supposed to be.
so was I.
they sounded like it was like this. They look like pixels, basically. Like
They're red little things, and they made weird sounds. I thought they were rose
like-
petals, but when they
kinda-
made sound, I was so confused.
Yeah.
Okay,
Birds
so they're
birds are funny that way. Oh, that was my interpretation of it.
Well, birds aren't real. They're all government drones.
No, yeah, of course.
Uh,
You getting
So-
all this? Yeah.
I thought that this pool of energy was like a giant kind of like tear, not water, and that if you fell off mainframe, you just like die. But it's
Yeah.
insinuating here that it's water.
Yeah,
You don't really see anybody swimming though.
Oh God, no, you die.
Yeah, of course. I'm seeing a lot of boats.
I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel about water in general, personally.
Would you go in there? That'll kill you.
As someone who is legit, listeners, I am legit aquaphobic. I almost
I did-
drowned when I was a kid. So
I did not know this.
Yeah, I'm actually like terrified of water
And arachnophobic.
and arachnophobic. So if you want to kill me, like if you really want to take me out, take notes, everyone. All you need
Is a gun.
water spiders.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I mean, that
Yeah, it's
too.
just those are my two biggest fears. So if you're gonna kill me, use something that's not those two. Yeah, something that's
Water spider.
the least expecting. Yeah,
A water gun that shoots spiders.
Just shoot spiders. Oh my god, I'm writing this
Made of
down.
water. Geez. Speaking of guns that shoot spiders, there's a giant red.
Oh,
there's a
here we
giant
go.
red
Smooth
energy.
segue.
Yeah,
Smooth
I
segue.
chose the most natural segue. There's a giant red energy beam coming off the horizon, and the dapper gentleman's like, "Pip, pip, what is that?" And
Most interesting.
Yes,
Cheers.
yes.
coming out of warp, like it literally is like a type of warp, is a
Oh, I have
giant,
more to
like,
say about that later.
a giant futuristic, semi-futuristic, like pirate ship, and it slams into the harbor and like actually comes out of the water a bit. And pirates come out! Yar, har, har, har.
They come flying out on zip boards that are basically planks, like they're
They
wooden.
look like wooden planks, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was
And they've
pretty
got
clever.
little batons instead of swords.
Oh, they look like pistols, like pirate pistols, but they shoot like green beams or something that like petrify people in this green cube.
I don't know why, but I feel like the one with the blue hair that says "har har, blow me down" kind of looks like me if I was a Binome.
Wait, blue hair?
Like the dark hair. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I resonate with this guy.
I always I don't know any of their names, but there's another guy with the
We'll
hat,
find out.
like the 3-pointed hat.
Yeah,
That was one of
I
my
like that
favorites.
they all have guns too.
Yeah.
So, like, what do those do? Do they actually shoot them, or do they just hold them?
It
They
just
shoot-
hold. It just yeah.
They
go
shoot
on.
little balls of energy that turn people into cubes.
Oh,
Much
so
like
the same as their sword.
yeah,
thing.
same as their like sabers that they have.
It's like
I
the
like
bubble
the girl
one.
pirate, the one with the long golden locks.
She kind of I get Anne Bonny vibes from her, which I'm sure is intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get to catch their captain, who is, man, he's cool looking.
He is a Binome Captain Hook.
By
Yes.
code, I love me job. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a sweet mustache. He's got like a Weasley little Smee. Type.
Yeah.
Yep, totally. Named
His name is
Mr.
actually.
Christopher.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yep.
And like all Christophers, he's a huge nerd.
Carrying an iPad.
I that's a jab at one of our fans and Christopher on the show.
Oh, good point. Yeah. I thought you were just talking about me.
No, I take multiple jabs.
I was about to be all like, well,
Lee
I do
jabs.
have an iPad, so
Well, I do have an iPad and glasses, and my name is Christopher. But anyways,
I do talk like this.
I do talk like this, and I do worry about finances. Wait, no, you don't.
No. I am a fucking rotundo when it comes to money.
Never go full rotundo.
Too late.
Oh shit!
Buy the code. And we're back at Dot's diner.
Yep.
So Dot is sitting in the diner. She's got like a cajillion vid windows open in front of her. She's talking to what looks like a
police bio?
Yeah, a ranking officer of the not ABCs, the CPUs, which I don't know if they've been named that yet, but
apparently this is the first appearance of Mainframe's police force this episode.
Now, is it like private? Because they're all communicating to her and she's trying to communicate back and forth. Like, why is she even involved there?
I think
that is a good point.
Because
why are the cops like reporting to her?
I don't think they're reporting to her. I think she called them, because if you look around Dot, the only window that's operational is where Fong is, and all the other ones are snowy and disconnected. So she may have called the authorities to say, like,
okay,
hey,
that makes more sense. It seems like he was reporting to her.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah. Also, have you ever tried asking a cop what's going on in a situation? They're just like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Also, it's none of your business.
Exactly.
Well, Dot's a powerful woman.
She is.
She is a
boy, oh boy,
is
she.
She is a strong, independent green woman.
Yeah.
Strong, independent sprite.
Yep. And Fong says some Fong stuff like, all of my vid windows aren't working, or what does he say? My links have blacked out as well.
Yeah.
And it all started at the docks. So everything's going staticky, like Aiden said.
Yeah, he says the whole kits sector is going offline 1 block at a time.
Yeah. And
Kit sector. I wonder if that's a pun on Kitsilano, because this is a Vancouver show.
Maybe.
I wonder. Maybe it might be. I don't know. Anyways, go on.
I only pointed that out because Enzo makes a point of saying that that's the neighborhood that Bob lives in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't worry, that's where Bob is."
He says,
which
Bob's
seems
apartment.
like the hipster rich place for people.
Yeah, well, definitely. He says, he said it's in Kits, and not Kit sector. So I was like, oh, that sounds like Kitsilano.
Well, like everything that you've said probably has something to do with Vancouver. It's probably not true.
I don't know.
But we cut to Kit's sector where there's a fancy like valet driver. There's a bunch of citizens running around. Old man Peterson, colorful binomes, and they're just getting shot by those little muskets. But the people that are hit by their little like the pirate batons and the little flintlock, that's what they're the little flintlocks, they're just like being frozen in like energy cubes.
I was literally just about to say energon cubes.
I almost
'Cause
caught
it's
myself
what they
almost
look
saying
like.
that.
No, they legit look like Energon cubes.
And then, because why has Bob ever been competent? He has no idea this is going on. He's in his car, like, with headphones on.
Yeah, he's fixing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, he's in his apartment. Right, I always forget that's technically his apartment. Working on his car, like lip syncing to his music, and his
Horribly,
car
I might add.
horribly, like
Horribly.
it's bad.
He's not even lip syncing though. He's like just mouthing. Exactly. Yeah.
What
There you
the
go.
hell? And you can hear the music in his headphones, and it's not even synced up at all. So you're kinda
Oh,
going,
I didn't even notice that.
What is he doing? I'm like,
I actually like this. Actually makes me like Bob a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's relatable.
And props to these are like the most efficient pirates I've ever seen in anything
No
ever.
kidding.
And because not only do they like completely ransack the sector, they get Bob's Guardian key tool
Yeah.
glitch and his car
His
without him
car
noticing.
And his key tool. He turns his back for 5 seconds and turns back around, and everything's wiped clean.
That's all the time a pirate needs.
I would just like to quickly point out that the closed caption of him like mouthing whatever this song that he was listening to is the closed caption is off key vocalizing.
Nice.
That's basically exactly what it is. Yeah. So good.
So he turns around and he goes, "Wait, what?" And we cut back to ye old pirate ship, and the captain's there, and he goes, "How goes the looting, Mr. Christopher?"
Optimal Captain. Yeah.
Optimal Captain.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I don't know where that came from.
Total market value less expenses currently at 18,000.
It's just some huge number.
Yeah.
Oh, 18,000+. Yeah.
And then Goldilocks and another random pirate show up, and they're like, "We have some strange booty, sir. What do you make of it?"
And he's all like, "Well, blow me down."
I also like to add that as a kid, this is the first time I ever heard the expression "blow me down." So I would go to school the next day just using it for everything, and I was a real nerd.
Wow.
And everyone was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And that's when you stop. You stop, make eye contact, maintain eye contact, and mouth even slower. Well, blow me down.
That's it. That's it.
Motherfucker. But yeah, so the pirate captain is all like, "Well, blow me down. This is none other than a Guardian key tool."
Yes.
Yes.
A rare find indeed.
You had some Megatron energy going on.
I know.
Almost, yeah.
I was hearing it as I was saying it, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm trying, damn it, but Megatron just keeps like fighting his way for control.
Yeah. And all the isn't he like
turns?
Give them a bonus, Mr.
Yeah,
Christopher.
he turns to Mr. Christopher. Mr. Christopher! And he just kind of shields himself with his iPad or whatever it is. And this poor little guy, he's just like taking it all the time from the captain. Typical Smee.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow. Sound like Droopy Dog.
He likes it.
Yeah. Yeah, 2,000 unit bonus to Miss Sally and Mr. Andrews. That was not bad at all.
You could sell that online for like 50,000. So
yeah.
Well, and apparently, them securing this Guardian key tool, which is this the first time it's actually been referred to as that? Like
yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
I know I've referred to it as glitch as Bob's Guardian Key tool, but I don't know that the show has actually addressed it as such thus far.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but
I think it might have.
we have now. Yeah, he's always just called it glitch.
Yeah. But yeah, so apparently them stealing a Guardian Key tool will increase their profit margin by 26,000%.
$1 billion.
Which is insane. It is insane to the point of being laughably unrealistic.
Yes.
We'll come back to that later, because apparently that deteriorates.
As someone who works in a job where pricing margin is like
Single percentages.
something I need to be aware of.
Yeah.
Like just like 26,000% profit margin. Pff, fuck off. But yeah, so Captain Hook is all like, "Oh, what's a Guardian Key tool doing in such a small port like this? You better wake the princess just in case, laddie."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The princess.
And we're kind of going like, what's this princess? What's happening?
Yeah,
Well, we will see a beautiful princess soon enough.
and some lively pirate music starts playing. I actually really like Captain Capacitor's theme.
Oh yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best.
We cut to Bob and we cut to Dot and Enzo. For some reason, they're fighting the pirates at the boardwalk.
And they're hiding behind an Energon cube, and inside the Energon cube is our old friend Took Guy.
Yeah,
Yes, Took is in there.
I guess you can hide behind when somebody's cubed, you can hide behind them.
I suppose so.
Yeah,
and they're talking to Fong on a vid window, and they're getting blasted by energy flintlocks. Apparently guns are okay, but swords are a no-no. I don't get this show.
Well, that's the thing about the swords, is because that's what the swords do. The guns and the swords shoot the energy balls.
But what I mean is they're technically not swords. They're like little clubs.
Yeah, they kind of are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't want to make them too sharp.
Yeah, they kind of look like sabers, though.
BS&P.
A little.
BS&P. That's what it is.
The hold, sir. She's nearly full.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we cut to Bob hiding behind a wall, observing everything that's going on, and he's all like, "Software pirates."
This is bad.
Chuckle.
This is very bad.
Uh-huh.
Software
pirates.
Software pirates.
Yarr, I be Captain Napster.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever heard of such a thing, and then I realized that it was real after, because I was a kid, I didn't know this stuff.
And then
I didn't even have a computer yet.
And then you became one yourself.
And then I became one myself and bought this whole series. No, I didn't. To anybody listening,
Bought.
I bought this whole series.
I bought this whole series by pirating it.
So when we cut back, he tries to use his glitch, but he's like, wait a second, they stole glitch. And I'm like, dude, you just noticed?
Yeah.
I know, right? Those motherfuckers.
Those low-level basic buffered. I love that he called him that.
Yeah. One of the pirates on the ship, the captain orders like code Abacab.
Yes.
And they're like, aye, sir, code Abacab. I repeat, code Abacab. And they start yelling it all to each other.
So what is that?
That's the code for beginning. Well, for we're leaving. Everybody fall back.
On that, yeah.
But does it mean something?
I think it's a reference to the infamous blood code for the Sega Genesis port of Mortal Kombat.
It sounded like a cheat code, yeah, right?
Yeah,
like
A B A D
A B B
A B B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is it? A Mortal Kombat code?
It's a blood code for Sega Genesis.
Oh, which turns on blood?
I think so.
when it's by default off.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Abacab. ABACABB.
Cool.
I will
Playing Mortal Kombat without blood. Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
So the Super Nintendo version.
BS&P, guys. BS&P.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo version had no blood
Oh.
at all. Couldn't even unlock it with a code.
Damn.
Well,
Damn.
I guess I can't talk shit about Sega Genesis version then. So what? It was just the arcade versions that had the blood?
Yeah.
On by default, I mean.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Well, blow me down.
Well, blow me down.
Wow, blow me down. Shiver me templates.
Shiver me
yeah.
templates.
That comes later. Hang on.
Shiver me templates and wake the princess. So yeah, everybody goes back with their abacab. And as if has to do with their proximity, everyone on the boardwalk like pops out of their like cube. Their like stasis cube that the pirates put them in. So they're non-lethal pirates.
Mm.
You know,
That's
they
nice.
just freeze you for a little while and then you wake up in a bit.
It's nice that all of these like happy binomes going about their day, despite the fact that they had to deal with all of this nonsense, like they're gonna live to tell the tale, you know?
Yeah, these guys ain't so bad.
Yeah.
And then Bob is on his zip board and he's holding one of their crummy little sabers. But like when you're a binome, it looks like a sword. But when you're a sprite, it looks like it's literally a foot long. It looks like he's holding like something smaller than a rolling pin. And I'm like, you go get him, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he zips up behind them and like with one arm behind his back, like he's fucking fencing.
Yeah.
Just like zips
He takes
past
a bunch
them
out.
and like taps them all and turns them all into energon cubes one by one.
Like
all casual like.
I've always loved what Captain Capacitor says. He always goes, "We've a live one on our hands," you know.
Uh-huh.
And he's show him what we're made of, and then he just kind of swoops in, Bob.
They're cheering, rallying, and Bob just gets them while they're cheering.
Yeah.
Well, shiver me templates. It's a guardian.
And then this is where we meet for the first time ever.
Princess Mondo.
That's good.
Princess Bula.
Is her name not Princess Mondo? Oh, Bula. I was close enough.
Yeah.
For anyone listening who doesn't get that is a Blazing Saddles reference.
Yeah.
Candygram for Mongo.
I love that.
Me Mongo.
Which, by the way, I haven't seen in like a decade.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So good.
So he's like, Princess Mondo.
The last time I watched Blazing Saddles, I watched it on, wait for it, HD DVD.
I have it.
So that tells you how long it's been.
Does anyone have it on VHS?
I do. I was just gonna say I have it on VHS and on DVD.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Princess Mondo goes, ugh! And Captain Capacitor goes, "Good morning, Princess." What's Bula? Bula. Yeah. Do you know what that is? And he gestures, and it comically shows a whole bunch of pirate binomes, completely chasing Bob,
chasing after him,
in the air, but like
single file.
They're harmless. Yeah, they're they're little binomes. He's like, "Do you know what that is?" And she go, "Sexy man." And he goes, "No, it's a guardian."
That's not at all what happens.
What?
I like how
a different copy than you guys have.
You must have a different cut of the episode.
Well, this is fun.
Also, I like how she sounds exactly like Scorponok.
Guardian.
Megatron, I'll get the Guardian. Aiden, that I accidentally just did the voice I use for Scorponok on our other podcast.
Okay.
Which apparently
Awesome.
Princess Bula sounds like.
Our other podcast, Too Much Energon, where we do this, except we talk about Beast Mode.
I make some jokes about something somebody said about having a different cut, a different copy than we had.
Yes, I heard.
He had the director's cut. Jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry. Mr. Christopher
Says he's already downtimed 16 of our shipmates, Captain.
I
And he
say we
scratches his
quit
head.
file him. I love all the computer talk. I say we quit file him now.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's just awesome.
Why didn't you do that before?
What?
And they all cheer. Man, these are like
Yeah.
the liveliest, happiest pirates. Like it actually seems really cool to work here.
Yeah.
I would love to
The
work
medical
on this
is shit, but
Well, yeah, they're pirates.
it's very lucrative.
He's got like the nicest hook for a hand. And
He does.
you know, and he's got the little face tattoo, or it's like around his eye. Kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, kind of a. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
kinda.
really well designed.
Yeah.
Most of the binomes are kind of meh,
Like
but he's cool. Deep enough.
A guardian may fetch a fine price indeed. Cheers. And so he's all like, Princess Mongo, can you stop him? And she's all like, no.
Can you? Yeah, he's like, what do you think, princess? Can you stop him?
I think she's actually asking
Oh,
like now.
I am.
But she's kind of, because she's kind of dumb in a way. So she's kind of like this big lumbering fool.
No, on the closed caption that I'm looking at, it says no.
Yeah, on my DVD copy, it says she goes now, and there's a question mark,
And then he goes,
and then he replies, "If you don't mind, sister."
if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's asking like now, and he's like, "Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
now would be nice."
Yeah. Obviously, like, you know, get chop.
Yeah.
Well, that is disappointingly way less funny to me.
Yeah, I know, because
It's
it's
her just being like,
no. No,
that is way funnier. So
when I was a kid, I used to think she said no. It was kind of funny.
So in my head canon, that is not determined by whatever writers make up, I am just going to
Yeah. And pretend that she's Princess Mongo.
says no.
Okay.
And the pirates are cheering because they're the happiest pirates ever, even though they're getting their butt kicked.
Exactly.
And Bob's on deck, and they all like kind of give him space. They like make a circle around him.
They all social distance around him.
Like, oh my god, we're next.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, get back! He's blue," because he's the first blue thing they've probably seen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Yeah, he's the only blue sprite we've seen.
I think so.
There's like a purple, like vampire sprite.
Oh, she comes later. Oh no, she's
oh, sorry, I was talking about the Vontro, the vampire one, the vampire dude that like with a robot arm in owls.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got like shades. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we want to know more about this guy. Yeah.
Oh, that was yeah. Because
I picked up what you were putting down.
there's another one
Yeah.
who is actually mentioned in this episode, but not until a bit later.
Yeah. So Bob is all like, you there, Captain Hook, give me back Glitch. And Captain Hook is all
Glitch?
like, Glitch? What, pray tell, is a glitch?
Bob's just like, yeah, right. don't even try that on me. Hand it over.
I think it's funny because I like that the captain calls it earlier what its actual name is, like a guardian key tool.
Yeah.
But Bob just calls it like glitch.
Oh yeah.
So I like to think that like he's the rookie on training, and he doesn't even know the name of it. He's just like, oh, I'll just call it glitch. That's easier to remember.
Yeah. So so Captain Hook is all like, well, as you wish, Guardian, and throws it down at him. And I'm like,
Yeah, lands on the deck.
why?
Yeah, me too. I was like, well, why?
You're throwing away your 26,000% profit margin, bro. Like,
Yeah. And then we find out why. A horrifying moment.
It's yeah.
Princess.
a moment that made me like burst out into uproarious laughter.
Yes.
Yeah. Bob leans down to pick it up, and Princess Bula. Okay, so how do we describe Princess Bula? She's a binome, technically,
Yeah.
right?
She's a
Because she's made of 3 cubes, but she's like 7 feet tall. Let's say
She's a-
Bob is like 5'10", 6 foot. She's like 7.5 feet tall.
she's a beefy binome.
She's this beefy, like kind of barbarian looking, like Conan-esque
Amazon.
like character. Yeah, an Amazon.
Yeah.
And she busts out of the deck from below deck and like grabs Bob, and he screams in horror, and she pulls him into the depths below, into darkness.
So if the late great WWF wrestler Chyna were a binome, this is probably what she would look like.
Probably.
And if you yeah. China's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger equivalent in a woman, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Rip in peace, China.
Rip in peace.
Wow.
What? She'll rip people in the afterlife, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. She also died on the same day as Prince.
Yeah, it's true.
I knew that it was close, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the exact same day, which I was like, wow, holy shit.
Coincidence? I think so. Yeah, so they go, oh, we've got something even more important now. And
we just bagged the treasure of our lives.
Yeah. And the pirate ship like pulls away, and as it's leaving, you could see the name. It has a big nameplate on the back, because as all successful pirates are wont to do, put a giant nameplate on the side of your ship.
Yes.
I mean, why not?
And it says the Saucy Mare,
Yes.
as in like horse.
Yes. Also, I would
Interesting
like to
name of a
point out
ship.
that this pirate ship straight up has warp nacelles.
What does it have? Oh,
Warp nacelles.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
ones you would see on starships in the Star Trek franchise.
When I said they can't come out of like a warp, that's what you were referencing.
There are a few Star Trek references in this episode, actually.
Oh yeah.
How metal are the skulls on their sails?
They're pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. It's like 2 skulls that are like joined together,
Yeah.
and they warp away.
Yes, quite literally. Like, it looks exactly like a ship in Star Trek, particularly from like the Next Generation era, jumping
Yes.
into warp.
Yeah, it kind of elongates and spaghettification.
Yeah.
Like jumps. Yeah.
Yeah. Listeners, Christopher really likes Star Trek. So
There is some vaporwave shit going on here that I need to point out. That's
okay.
I find very satisfying.
Mm.
When they're in the warp realm, the sky is like streaking behind them in like the wormhole, and it's all pink and like blue. And like ReBoot can be like crazy vaporwave without even like knowing it's from the era that vaporwave is based on, right? And I don't know. I find it really satisfying.
Mm.
A lot of ReBoot is very vaporwave.
Yeah, especially at this time.
No.
I like it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just Google image the word vaporwave.
Yes, listeners, do the thing.
Do the thing. And if you put ReBoot after it, I'm sure you'll get some funky ass recoloring of ReBoot characters.
You know, Googling anything to do with reboot is so difficult because the term reboot is so commonplace nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like it used to be in ye old AOL
Yeah.
free trial days.
Ye old 1994. In the year of our Lord, 1995.
Wow. So we're back at the dock, and Dot and some police binomes.
Just before that, there was a quick shot of Bob being in a jail cell in
he's
the lower decks of the
passed
Saucy
out,
Mare.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she like grabbed him, and either from fear or from blunt force trauma, he's knocked out.
Or arousal.
Or arousal.
Who could say? He might like them beefy bitches.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And we never will. So we're back at the docks.
We're back at the docks. And there's a super Chad. He grows on me throughout the episode. He's like, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again, Miss Matrix. What are you doing here?" Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
All right, what's so important that we have to go back, sir?
Oh, okay. Enzo and Dot are looking through the thing, and they're trying to find out where it went. The ship.
Yeah, they're talking to Fong on a vid window, or not a vid window, like basically an iPad. And Fong is all like, "Oh, they stole a whole bunch of shit, and they also took Bob, and they're about to open a portal to fuck off. So you got to catch them ASAP."
Yes.
Is such a thing
That's
even possible?
We'll find out.
Yes.
We'll find out.
What they need is a ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like to point out, you see two separate energy cubes. One with the mother, and one with the stroller and the baby flying out of the stroller. And they're both kind of suspended in midair on the dock.
Uh-oh.
It's actually kind of funny.
Like a mistake.
And it is actually kind of funny to look at.
Yeah.
Baby binomes.
So now we're at Thurston Howell III's yacht. And straight up, like, they don't even consult him. They're all just like Dot and a couple of like Binome cops just like walk right onto the yacht and start loading supplies onto the SS Minnow. And Dot's all like, "We need this to go on a 3-hour tour."
Basically.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out...
I'm really laying on all of the Gilligan's Island references here.
Do.
I would also like to point out, you remember in earlier episodes where we're hearing about
yes.
About Mr. Mitchell's
This
accounts?
is Mr. Mitchell.
This is Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah.
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 How are my accounts coming, darling? Have you moved all of my assets to an offshore account?
Yeah, he in his depiction here reminds me of Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island. So
yes.
Yeah, I get those vibes.
Yeah.
Those vibes too. But slightly more likable.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, you did that way better.
You're commandeering my on whose authority?
On whose authority? I can't do this guy's voice, so I'm just gonna let you guys take it away.
Harness your inner douchebag. Yes. Perhaps if you had money like me.
Yeah, so
I like that he has. Have you met my 2 girlfriends? He's got like two ladies with him.
Two chick binomes in. Well, yeah. Well, one's slightly more attractive than the other. So yeah.
So you know what it is? One of them is probably his wife, and the other.
Okay, so I get shit for liking hexadecimal. You have a top 10 list of binomes. Okay.
The makeup binome.
So what's going on here, I think, is the one to his right is his wife, and the one to his left is their like the binome that they're going to eventually like rope into a threesome.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm calling it. Canon.
What's going on? There you go. Yeah.
My partner mentioned, they were like, "Whoa, look at the captain's like shirt," and she's like, "That's super glitch core," and I'm like, "Okay, I know what vaporwave mean. What the hell is glitch core?"
What is glitch core?
I googled it, and I didn't attach any keywords with glitch core, and my eyes exploded at the back of my at the back of my head. Anyone listening can Google like glitch core, but
I'm doing it right now.
to anybody that does not want to Google it, I've sent you a message in the chat.
Wow.
Yep. There's some. Yep, that's a thing.
So
Blimey.
Did your eyes explode out of the back of your head?
Not really, but it's it's interesting. It's very, very colorful.
That's one way to say it. Yes.
I'm getting some rave flashbacks here.
Right.
This is like the visualization of being at a rave on both ecstasy, speed, magic mushrooms, and probably one or two other things all at the same time. I say this with experience.
So you can look upon what glitch core is and not turn away,
It is kind of mesmerizing.
because it's hurting. It hurts to view.
Yeah, no, straight
Wow,
up.
this is
This is like psychedelics incarnate right
if
here.
GeoCities like color like broke. I don't know how to describe. I guess that's why it's called a glitch core. It's kind of like weird color, like I don't know how to describe it.
You know how like when a TV kind of glitches, like on digital cable, when it kind of pixelates and it's all different colors.
Oh yeah,
And
okay,
then,
yeah.
Then you kind of have to like skip ahead a little bit for it to like kind of knock it all back in place.
It's all like red, green, and blue, and like pixelated.
Yeah, basically, that's what it reminds me of anyway.
It must be based on some '90s glitchy shit. Hurts my brain to behold.
This is straight up digital psychedelics right here.
Glitch core is my anti-drug. I just go on Google and I snort it straight to the screen.
I'm gonna guess I've probably done more illicit drugs in my day than either of you. So
heroin is my anti-drug. Yeah, I've
never done that.
I've never done any.
Never done that.
I've never done any of the drugs ever. I am a good boy. Yes, sirree.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
That's what I'm. Speaking of Bob, he's not here.
No, he's not here. So
yeah. So the TLDR of the rich person's boat is they commandeer his boat. Right?
Yeah, and he's all like, on whose authority? And Dot flashes her iPad at him, and it has Fong on it, and Fong's all like, mine, and he's all like, oh well, okay then.
Oh, hello, Fong, sir.
No. Apparently he's the ultimate authority in mainframe.
And Fong's basically all like, oh, you have a very slim chance of catching them. And Dot is like, well, we have to at least try, damn it. And then she straight up quotes Khan Noonien Singh from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And she says, also, they task me and I shall have them.
And then she looks at the camera and smiles like such a corny.
No, she doesn't smile. She gives a like very like strong, like firm scowl.
Oh, wrong part. Yeah.
Yeah. And all of the cast members of Gilligan's Island all just like go, their mouths go all agape with surprise. They're like, shit.
Also, ask me and I shall have them.
For all the old people in the audience or listeners or whatever, he tasks me and I shall have him is also from Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
It's a cyclical quote for sure.
Yeah. No, I was saying like, so that's obviously from Wrath of Khan, and then before that it was Moby Dick. So I was
look at that. We learned something.
I'm a nerd. What can I say?
Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm looking at it now, which is a paraphrase from Moby Dick. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read
But
Moby Dick.
remember, Khan was a very well read, very like kind of like honorable. He viewed himself as like a gentleman scholar, right?
That's true.
So it makes sense that he would be quoting
He would quote Moby Dick.
literature. Yeah.
Also, there are a number of Moby Dick references in Star Trek media.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
No.
I like it a lot.
So I learned.
I don't know why I did that.
Good lord. What is
Sometimes
happening?
I don't think about the things I say or do.
Well, I've learned two things on this episode. One, Khan was quoting Moby Dick in Star Trek 2, and that apparently turns Cal on.
That wasn't the sound of being turned on. That was the sound of slurping something. Two very different things, I assure you.
Completely different.
Yes.
So the SS Minnow also has warp nacelles on it. It jumps into warp as well to give chase to the saucy mare.
People
Yeah.
don't think it be like it is, but it do.
What?
I don't know. People say that, right?
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So even though this ship does this ship jump into warp too?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Sorry.
So
Do all ships have warp speed?
step 1, place palm on
I don't-
reader. Step
I don't
2,
believe so.
make choice. Step 3, wait for door to open.
Wait for door to open.
Step 4, profit?
And then Frisk gets here.
Yeah, Frisket's here.
Yes, they almost left him behind, but Frisket decided to come along, so he jumped. Off
Oh
of
yeah,
the,
yeah. Frisket was
thing.
like at the docks, and
Yeah.
was like, "Come on, boy," and Frisket was all like,
He's
"No,
like,
I'm
"Don't be a little
chicken shit." yeah. There you go.
And then they start drifting away, and then Frisket suddenly wants to come. Typical dog stuff.
Typical dog.
So then he just fucking like Hulk jumps,
Launches.
like from the dock, like a pretty far distance, and lands right on the SS Minnow. And
Yeah, he has like superhero levels of like physical abilities,
I'm not gonna.
as we have learned.
Yeah,
Well, remember he's got a V8 engine underneath his snout, so he's a
good point. Yeah,
he's a machine.
he's a canine muscle car.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, so when this went down, I was like, "Aw, Frisket's such a cool dog."
He is.
Yeah,
He's a
He's a
great
cool
dog.
doggo.
I wanted to Frisket.
We all wanted a Frisket.
I still want
Oh,
a
yeah.
Frisket. I don't even like dogs.
Yeah, he would.
For everyone out there.
So the SS Minnow is speeding towards them at unbelievable velocity, just firing along there. And
gonna
we cut away.
I'm gonna guess warp
Sorry, go on.
factor 3, maybe.
6. Oh,
Sure.
not even that
Yeah.
fast. All right. All
And then
right.
then we cut back to the saucy mare.
Yeah.
Where we see Bob kind of unconscious in the brig. In the cell at the below deck.
Yeah.
And we see you got the little prison guard, he's there, and it's the classic, he's asleep and the keys are just kind of dangling there and Bob wakes up.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And so he looks around, and there's some graffiti on the one of the walls in the
Which is
prison
awesome.
cell. And I've actually paused it because I want to I want to talk about what's there.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of like number scratches, presumably for like how long a particular prisoner has been there.
Yeah.
There is a very crude drawing of a dude with an eye patch and a giant ass nose peeking his.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't. But the symbol right below it is a mouse.
Yes.
Mouse. Do you guys know who Kilroy is?
Kilroy. Yes.
The dude with the nose?
Yep.
It's just a Kilroy was here.
Yeah.
It's
Which
like
was-
yeah.
Sorry, no, go on.
It's like an ancient meme, right? Like people would just like graffiti that on things.
Yeah, it's
And right,
from.
Kilroy was here.
No, it's Kilroy was he built ships in World War II. He worked on I believe it was he worked on gunships, and any part that he'd be that he would have built or had a part in building, he would graffiti that Kilroy was here with the little nose.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
See,
so that's how it started.
Kind of like
Wasn't
just
sure-
signed his work.
See, and
you know?
I thought you were just gonna bring up like Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sticks.
say, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna bring up Sticks. Kilroy.
Kilroy.
Yeah.
I'd always wondered if he was the guy that started that. Like if there was a particular guy that started that, or he was just known for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, was it one specific person that started that?
As far as I know, that the little Kilroy was that was his name. That was the little cartoon.
Okay. Interesting how one dude can like inspire like multiple generations of like
Right.
low level graffiti. Because like I remember my like mom talking about like carving that into like bus stops and stuff.
Yeah. Kilroy built this bus
About
stop.
how she was the modern man.
Yeah.
How she's got
so
the
sorry,
secret
yeah.
she's been hiding under her
She's been hiding
And
under her skin.
So some other graffiti on here is a smiley face.
Sorry, you were saying there's a mouse and a smiley face.
Yeah. A smiley face.
Someone shit talking the captain.
Sit on it with an exclamation
sit on
mark.
it.
Yeah.
You are here with an arrow pointing to the floor.
Yeah.
And one of the more interesting bits, other than Kilroy and Mouse, is I want my MTV.
Which is brilliant.
It is. And the reason what that is a reference to is the song Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, which, as I believe I've mentioned before, was the first ever completely CGI music video and featured a couple of like working class very crude looking working class CGI characters named Sal and Harv. And that was done by the guys who would later go on to create this show.
Exactly.
Huh.
Super cool, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and there's hang on, I gotta find it. Where is it? There was another one. And it was very, very quick. Hang on. Oh, come on. Is Flacitor. So good. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So presumably Captain Capacitor has a issue with flatulence.
I didn't want to weigh into that too much.
Either that or Captain Capacitor can't get it up.
I was gonna say he's a limp dick. So there you go.
Yeah.
That said it.
Yes, yeah, you said it.
I said it, damn it. I said it. No one else was going to, so I said it.
Poor Captain Capacitor. Being shit talked by the people he probably executed. Yeah, so
So
Bob's
who has
there.
the last laugh then?
Not the person that wrote that.
No.
So
Bob gets up and he sneakily kind of like inches toward the
the
guard.
Binome? Yeah, there's a
the-
Binome asleep on a chair.
Yeah, he's got
With
the
keys
keys.
dangling from him.
And I think there's like some kind of he reaches for them. And I guess there's some kind of force field on the bars.
Yep.
And he gets like thrown back about 10 feet.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
And the Binome leaps from his chair laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. he goes flying back, slams into the bed, and he's like, "I love it when you prisoners do that."
Hey listeners, production note here. All of the audio that we had originally recorded past this point, due to some technical issues, ended up being lost into the ether. So what you are about to hear is new audio that we recorded a full 7 days later. Enjoy.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's funny or if he's a dick.
Probably both.
A bit of both.
Why
Yeah.
not both?
Why not both?
Yeah. He's got a little eye patch and he's red and black colored, and he's like, besides, I don't snore when I really sleep.
And no one's ever escaped from my brig. No.
Yeah, except for that one. And
Yeah.
he points to some graffiti of like a stylized like chalk outline of a mouse.
Yeah, and Bob is all like, "Oh, you mean mouse?"
Blimey! How do you know her
Blimey.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like surprised he knows her name, which is funny because he just pointed at a picture of a mouse.
Yeah.
Could have been a good bless. Yeah. And yeah, he walks up to the bars and he's like, Bob's like, well, she's an old friend and a long story.
Which means
And
Which
yeah,
means
they boned.
Oh,
yeah, come on. Yeah.
totally. Anybody knows. Yeah. We have yet to meet Mouse, but yeah.
They boned. He's setting it up and he's like, it's a long, complicated story. And then he like crouches down and like looks at the little Binome and he's like, don't stick your dick in crazy, son. Okay, that part didn't actually happen.
That did not happen.
I think it happened in the cut of the episode that I'm watching.
Oh, here we go.
Oof, ouch. Oof.
Anyway, so Binome,
Reboot.
Captain Hook,
Director's
and
cut.
Mongo start coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Princess Bula. Yeah.
Princess Mongo.
Yeah, and he's like, nice try, you rapscallion, but my crew doesn't scare that easily. And I'm like, are you sure about that?
Bob just kind of smugly goes, well, good for them.
Oh, I
Gold
just realized Gold Star. I just realized that Princess Bula's reboot symbol is like on her loincloth.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and Crimson Binomes is like at the very bottom of him.
I mean,
The very bottom of him.
Yeah, like sorry, the binomes, the one binomes are made out of 3 cubes. It's on the bottom left of the bottom cube. Little
On the captain?
yeah.
Oh, weird. I can't even see it.
When his whole body.
Oh,
comes
there
in
it
the frame.
is. There it is. Yeah.
Weird, huh?
It's shiny. It has like a kind of like a silver. It's like it's a coin or something.
For some reason in my head, I recalled it being on his hat, but that doesn't make any sense. Can't be on
No.
clothes. Yeah.
well,
It would
I
be
mean-
covering up that kick-ass skull that he's got on his
Right?
on his hat. Yeah.
I mean, Enzo's icon is on his hat.
I always figured it like that's a good point. If he loses his hat, can he not reboot?
Perhaps not.
Perhaps not.
These questions and more.
Nothing to double click
Shall not be answered. No.
yet.
Yeah. So he's like, "What be ye name, Guardian?" And Bob's like, "My name's for my friends, and you're not my friend. Mom told me not to talk to strangers." And he's like, "Well, my mom wasn't around. I'm the Crimson Binome."
And
Yeah,
Bob's
sure.
like, "Oh, Captain Capacitor, I've heard of you."
Says, of course you have.
Oh,
Cock-
yeah, of course
cocky-
you have.
Cocky captain. Yeah.
And he turns to the jailer, and he's like, "This is Mr. Jimmy,
Jimmy the jailer.
and you've met Princess Bula."
And Bob's like, "Oh, is she really a princess?" And Capacitor's like, "No. You
No.
want to tell her that?"
Yeah. Do you want to tell her any different? Kind of like a hushed tone.
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
"Actually, what I want is for you to let me go."
before he starts playing the threatening card there.
Yeah, he like tries to be like, before I'm more trouble than you're worth.
That I'm worth. Yeah.
No, my boastful friend. I'm afraid even you could not cause that much damage.
I think he would have to bring a lot of trouble to be more trouble than a guardian would be worth. Because I imagine
I was feeling that too.
Yeah, because I imagine like a guardian on the black market of the dark web, if you will, would probably fetch a high price, stranger.
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bob's like, well, fuck this, and then grabs his cot off of the grabs the mattress off of
the bunk bed.
He grabs that and throws it at the energy shield bars thingy, and it explodes, and there's a flash.
And the mattress and Bob are gone.
Yep. Well, blow me down.
Yeah. Thank you. And Jimmy's like surprised as hell. And he turns to Capacitor and says, well, how'd he manage to squeeze through that? And he points at like a little
to the hole
where the mouse graffiti was. And it's kind of like broken off one of the panels.
Yep. And Captain Hook is all like, Mongo, get him.
Yeah. And so she does. She smashes through the wall.
Marches right through the wall.
I love that we're just calling her Mongo now. That's great.
I really like that character.
Oh yeah.
She does one thing really well.
She smashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Goldilocks Binome pops her head up from the deck, and she's like, Captain? And Capacitor's there, and she's like, you're needed at the wheel, sir. We've got company. So a ship is gaining off our stern. And he kind of sighs and slowly, aggravatingly, like, takes these stairs.
On my way.
Yep.
What's her name? Miss Sally or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I think he said
Bonnie.
He says Miss Sally in the first scene that we see her, and then he calls her Henson in the next. So I don't know what her name is.
Isn't Ensign
it's
designation?
Ensign? Okay.
Yeah. She's an ensign.
Yeah.
An ensign.
I only know that because of Star Trek.
Gotcha. That does make a lot of sense now that I think about it. Thank you.
Yep.
Clear.
And then we see some weird, creepy.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley. No one liked you anyway.
Back in the prison cell, Bob pokes his head out from behind one of the wooden pillars.
In a
very like Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny poking his head around like a little twig.
That is a great way to put it.
Somehow like hiding behind something that like realistically would be completely impossible.
Yeah.
But
it's too thin for him. Yeah.
It works for Bob, and he's basically, thanks, Mouse. I owe you one.
Wherever you are. No, it's not glitch. It was something Mouse.
I said Mouse.
Did. Yeah, no, but I mean, watching this, my instinct would be, oh, he did something with glitch.
Oh, okay.
But no, it had something to do with like the panel that like Mouse like drew her little graffito tag on.
Yeah. And
Bob never know.
Yeah, and Bob is like, thanks, Mouse, wherever you are, and then he looks up at the stars.
Yeah, wistfully. Or whimsically.
Longingly.
There you go.
So we're back at the SS Minnow now. And the Dot and Enzo and the ABCs are giving chase, and they're talking to Fong on is it a monitor in the ship, or is it?
It is.
Dot's iPad?
It's a monitor. It's two monitors in the ship. Actually, they're kind of hanging from the ceiling. They're in the little above the that little dash in the front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Fong just lets him know that well, that's weird. The pirate ship stopped. So they'll be able to catch it easily now.
Yeah.
And they do. They warp into frame.
And they do. Yeah, they leave the They leave the vaporwave warp and pop up right behind the pirate ship.
Yep, and Dot grabs a bullhorn and is basically like, "Yo, bitches, surrender. We're here to take you down. Give Bob back."
Yeah.
in not in so many words, but yeah, basically.
It's basically the gist
it.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
The ABC version is different.
Yeah, the BS&P would not approve.
No. And I think Captain Capacitor just hollers back. He doesn't even have a little megaphone.
I love that.
Yeah, he just yells. And he introduces himself.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, he introduces himself. He's like, "My good lady, I am the Crimson Binome.
Captain of this ship."
Yeah,
This
and he's
big-
like, "And
bigging
who be
himself
ye?"
up.
Yeah, and she grabs like the skipper's cap off of the.
Yeah, after
The,
pausing for a second, she takes Mr. Howell's skipper cap and is all like, "I am Admiral Matrix."
Yeah,
Just one up him right there.
Yeah, she just had to one up him in the rank somehow.
that implies she has some advocacy over a fleet, and I'd call her on that bluff if I was Capacitor.
Oh, definitely. Considering she's just in this like
It's a yacht.
relatively
Not
tiny,
even a yacht. It's a speedboat.
yeah, relatively tiny little boat that is clearly designed for nothing more than 3-hour tours.
Of course.
Boats and hoes, man.
Boats and hoes. Mr. Mitchell and his 2 hoes.
Yeah.
Mr. Mitchell, Mrs. Mitchell, and their potential girlfriend.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
And and Capacitor is basically like, well, you're in over your head if you think the likes of you can take me down. And then there's some explosions on the deck, presumably Bob creating havoc. And Dot's like, well, it doesn't look like you're winning to me. Prepare to be boarded. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, and Capacitor is basically just like, well, this isn't really necessary because we're only in it for the profit, but if it's a fight you want, well, all right, let's
fight
do this.
ye have.
Let's do this. Let's beef.
And I jive with that. He's all like, how do I minimize like profit loss here? He's like, I just wanted to download this free antiviral software and sell it on the black web. But no. The black web. The dark web. No, the black web. It's like the black market, but on the internet, right? Yeah.
Speaking of ghosting, we have pirates.
We have speaking of ghosting, we have pirates. Same thing, really.
Best segue ever.
This is what I bring to the podcast.
If you like TikTok, you'll love pirates. Yeah.
And ghosts.
And ghosts.
And Christopher.
And Christopher.
And
who is all of those things put together.
He is. If anything, I would say Christopher is a Christopher. 1 part Christopher, 1 part ghost, and 1 part pirate.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
I was going to say the goat pirate. The ghost pirate. Okay.
Hey, the goat. I'll take the goat. The greatest of all time.
The goat.
Yeah, you're goddamn right.
You're the goat pirate, sir.
All right.
Okay.
So,
well, blow me down.
Oh, blow me down. That sounded more like a horse. Never mind. Okay. Blow me down. Okay.
What was the talking horse TV show like from 60
Mr.
years
Ed.
ago?
Mr.
Thank
Ed.
you.
Yeah.
Mr. Ed, yeah.
Hello. I'm Mr. Ed.
Wow.
Okay.
Quality TV.
Where are we? Speaking of quality TV.
Capacitor is like, we need to open fire. And the little blue-haired one with like a little shoot is like, yeah, about that. We don't have many cannons left.
Yeah, he did.
And
He killed all
Capacitor's
our
like,
cannons.
well, how many do we have? He's like, well, we have 1.
He's like, open fire with whatever.
So they do. They fire
Fire
one
everything.
single cannon at him.
One single cannonball comes flying towards the SS Minnow. And Dot's freaking out. Incoming! And
Frisket, the physics-defying dog, like leaps
Just-
up in the air and catches it in his mouth.
yeah, like
He's
a
a good
tennis
boy.
ball.
Yeah.
That's a good dog right there. I wish I had a Frisket.
A physics-defying dog that can like
Yes,
catch cannonballs out of the air.
that would be preferable.
I
Yeah,
really
I mean-
like this because go ahead.
That is a very useful skill for a dog to have.
Yeah.
Useful?
Yeah.
How many cannonballs are shot at you on a day-to-day basis?
Hey, I work downtown, okay?
Work downtown. You haven't seen
Like-
the shit I've seen.
Hey, I was in Nam, all right? Yeah. I wasn't in Nam.
Really?
I
Like-
don't think you were old enough.
No.
I was about to say, really? Because like
I don't think you were born.
are you a like 75-year-old man?
I was definitely not in Nam, nor am I old enough to have said that. All right.
Well, any veterans we had who were listening to this podcast have now checked out.
No. It's all.
My
we're not making-
apologies.
Unsubscribe.
It was a joke that backfired.
How could you, Aiden?
Very easily, thank you.
But back to the boat. We have the Mitchell waving his like little arm, and he's like, "Have at you, you
How
scurvy
about
knaves!"
you? We're coming, Bob. Yeah. The little
Yeah.
rich man voice.
His Mr. Howell voice.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh.
I haven't had this much fun in minutes.
In minutes.
You
which
go,
is
Mr.
which is
Howell.
probably years or
Yeah,
decades.
years,
Yeah.
maybe years. Who knows?
Yeah.
And cuts to the ship, and Bob is like having a swashbuckling good time on the deck, fighting off multiple crummy little binomes at once.
Yep.
And the Mitchell boat,
All wielding Energon sabers.
yeah. And what was the Mitchell's boat called? The Minnow,
The SS Minnow.
Well,
yeah.
that's what we're
SS
calling
Minnow.
it. Yeah.
right?
The SS Mitchell.
It floats up, and all the little police binomes, as
Hop
well
aboard.
as Mitchell and his floozies, board the pirate ship.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And,
there's a swashbuckling good time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A real
basically.
sortie goes down.
yes.
They did a sortie. I like this. Enzo is with Frisket, and he says, "See that man, Frisket? That bad man? He's the boss. Sick him." And
Yeah.
you're like, "Uh-oh, Frisket into house." And I love
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Frisket leaps.
Capacitor- Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Frisket leaps into the air at Capacitor, and Capacitor just grabs one of his little like sabers and just taps Frisket with it, and
Yeah.
Frisket gets turned into an Energon cube like mid-air. It just falls
and just
to the
freezes
ground.
and falls. Like
Yep.
the most effortless like defeat ever. And I'm like, "Oh, well, Frisket has his uses. Against these, it's not one." I love this part. Capacitor jumps off the upper part of the not the bow of the ship, but the like kind of little bridge area. And I think it was Aiden before that pointed out it's his leg that like super extends.
Yeah.
So
That's
it like
right.
slows his descent. Yeah. And I love this part. He goes up to Frisket, frozen in the Energon cube, and he's like, "Tisk tisk, left your friends unguarded. Bad dog, bad dog,
Bad
boy."
Bad boy. It,
Hard boy.
it's oh man, it's weird.
It's
It's hilarious, but it's like
what did dogs do to this guy?
he's weirdly fixated on just like demoralizing Frisket right there.
Yeah. And then we turn to Bula, and she slams down a giant. I don't know how she did this. Can she just turn people into cubes? Or maybe multiple cubes squished together? But she grabs a gigantic, like, cube with Bob and a whole bunch of pirates, like, frozen mid-air, like, mid-action scene. So weird. It's almost like Bob is alley-ooping, like, going to, like, do a fancy, like, slam dunk with one of the binomes under his leg.
Well, it looks like Princess. I think I think it looks like Princess Bula like took a couple of the Zero binomes and just hurled them at Bob, and it's kind of disorienting him, and that's how he was frozen, along with the 4 other binomes. They're kind of just floating there, and Bob looks like he's trying to dodge too. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. She was just tossing them at him.
So at one point, she just stopped fighting and started using other binomes to take him down.
Yeah, I like that.
You guys remember that meme from like the early 2010s where it's like, I'll beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker?
That's the first thing that came to mind. I'll beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
It's like a picture of like one guy like holding onto someone's leg, and it looks like he's just straight up using another person to like club someone else.
Yeah.
That's
so funny. I laughed so hard when I first saw that.
Captain Hook's like, "Avast, scallywags! I suggest ye surrender." And he has a little duel, like a verbal duel with, after threatening sort of threatening their friends. He's like, before you have any accidents, or before your friends happen to have an accident.
Before accidents happen to your friends, yes.
Yeah. And Bob and Enzo are kind of like surrounded by a bunch of pirates, and all the police binomes are kind of frozen in little cubes. And Fong is there on an iPad. Because, he can help now.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dot, can you read me, Dot?" And Capacitor directly talks to Fong, and he's like, "I'm afraid your friends won't be returning, old sprite."
Yeah, and some crew member comes up to Captain Hook and is all like, "Sir, the rudder's back online." And Captain Hook's basically like, "Well, blow me down. Time to go."
Look at the sun.
Yeah. And Mr. Christopher is basically all like, given everything that we've been through, like, our profits are looking pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Sorry, Captain.
We're nowhere. What's that number?
We're nowhere near our usual 200%. And Dot is all like, 200%? You call that a profit margin?
Which is weird because weren't they at like in like the triple digits before?
They were in the thousands before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And what ends up going down here is something that straight up reminds me of like the wordplay duels from The Secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You fight like a dairy farmer.
And yeah. So in that game, like old like adventure game from, I think it came out in like 1990, but there was
LucasArts?
Yeah, LucasArts, yeah. But there was a remastered edition that came out on PC and Xbox Live Arcade, which is how I played it back in the late 2000s, like 2008 or 2009. Fully voice acted and everything, and they even got the same voice actors from The Curse of Monkey Island, which was the third one. Cool. That actually had like animated cutscenes and voice acting and everything. So they got them to like come back for like the remake of The Secret of Monkey Island, like 15 years later, and voice the same characters. But
did that make you happy?
Yes, but basically in that game, how sword fights go down is like one of you were like, you'll hurl an insult at someone, and they basically have to come up with a really good comeback.
Yeah. Otherwise, they lose that little bout, and there's a back and forth.
Yeah.
A word play.
Yeah, and my favorite one being, "I've spoken with apes more polite than you." "Well, I'm glad to hear you've attended your family reunion."
That's great.
That is a good one.
So this back and forth that goes down between Captain Capacitor and Dot kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's like bureaucracy and like business gobbledygook.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he's all like, "Oh, something, like cargo hold," and she's like, "Easy, whatever." Yeah, I think she throws him. I'm just gonna mention this. She throws him her like little Palm Pilot,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Go ahead, check my profits yourself. The password's Guardian."
Enzo's like, Guardian? Wow, Dot.
Yeah, Dot. And Mr.
What?
Christopher's
She's thirsty for Bob. Okay.
Needs a little vitamin B.
"Wow, needs a little vitamin B."
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. Christopher's like, "Oh, she's right, sir." And Capacitor's like, "As the sea flows, how could such profits be possible?" And then they have their little back and forth.
Dot says, well, they are possible when you don't attack your customers.
It's a good point.
It's a very good point.
Mr. Christopher's like,
Oh, sir, maybe we should take a lesson from her. Something.
and he's like, "Quiet you!" And he freezes her. He freezes her.
No, he says touche. There was
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
This is the brilliant comeback, and then Mr. Christopher goes, touche.
At one point, he freezes Mr. Christopher.
Yeah. It was at that point. He's like, you stay out of this.
Quiet you.
Yeah.
And so Captain Hook is like, but you forgot about capital depreciation of upgrades.
Yeah. And Dot's like, no, you just sell volume at discount to lower grade systems.
And their Shmi is like,
Shmi.
Yeah. I mean,
Quiet
basically,
you. The adults are talking.
Yeah.
Adults are talking.
Then how do you offset market flush? Market
Diversification.
flux.
Initial inventory outlay.
Amortization.
Demand drop off.
Become a buyer.
Oh. And then he like clutches his chest and as
Puts
if
his sword down.
He just
As if-
releases
as if
everybody.
Defeat.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess he can do that.
Crippling defeat.
Yeah, flawless victory. And Bob wakes up, and Bula gives him his glitch back,
His key tool.
and he's like, what happened?" And Enzo's like, "It's okay, Bob. They're on our side now." And Bob's like, "Well, blow me down."
And in the span of like maybe 20, 30 seconds, Dot is already like full on.
She's
like,
on the bridge. Yeah,
she's on the bridge in full pirate garb.
Yeah.
In some pretty sexy ass thigh high boots, I gotta say.
they're heeled
second
black
that.
like leather thigh high boots.
She's no makeup artist Binome, but you know.
I mean,
give
who
her that.
is?
Is anyone really besides Hexadecimal?
Well, we haven't met Mouse yet.
That is a very good point.
That's a good point.
Yes. Touche.
And yeah,
So they basically, it seems like they made a deal to the pirates are basically going to serve as like a transit system essentially for people wanting to get to the web.
yeah, they're gonna transfer what does she say? She says intersystem transport.
Yeah.
So they're gonna kind of be like a merchant ship rather than like pirates, and it's a win-win. Probably, especially for Dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he calls her Captain Hook calls Dot Admiral Matrix, and she's like, "Please call me Dot." And then he's like,
And he
"Well,
goes,
actually, my name's Gavin."
Gavin.
Capacitor.
Which is a great name for a pirate, but it still sounds very like when you listen to Captain Capacitor, it sounds more piratey than Gavin.
Gavin Capacitor.
Yeah.
Presumably, it's a reference to Gavin Blair, one of the people behind the show, one of the producers, I believe.
That does make sense. Yeah, actually, according to the Reboot Wiki, which I am looking at right now, that is absolutely right.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, blow me down.
Apparently, the Crimson Binome is also a callback to the 1952 film The Crimson Pirate. So
That doesn't surprise me, even
Yeah.
in the slightest.
yeah,
And Bob's like,
I-
wait,
I
she's
don't-
in business with him, and they're, well, blow me down.
Enzo's like major.
And the
And
ship
that shows,
Enzo.
yeah.
and the ship is sailing back toward mainframe.
Yeah.
And episode over.
Woo!
Woo!
Well, I think that was our favorite episode so far.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just fun.
Aiden, you have any final thoughts?
Well, yeah. NeoCal just said it. This is my favorite episode so far of the reboot series. Possibly so far of at least series 1. Swashbuckling adventures on the high seas. Couldn't ask for anything better, really.
I like voicing Mr. Christopher.
You do it well indeed.
And I also got to say I like saying the phrase "blow me down" because after seeing this episode, I started saying it at school,
As
and
a kid?
nobody knew what I was talking about. But
Yeah.
I think everybody got it. But everybody would just laugh hysterically whenever I would yell "blow me down."
You did mention that before, yes.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
I thought I'd say it again. I don't know.
Yeah. Just to be sure.
Yes.
Cal, do you have anything to add about the episode?
It's pretty good characters. I like them. I like them a lot. I hope to see more of them.
Well, blow me down.
It makes the pirates interesting, but like it's interesting because they're non-lethal, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like an adversarial fun episode with low stakes.
Yeah.
And usually the stakes have been like so super high when they're dealing with the viruses.
Mhm.
Like I really like the rich dude and his floozies like jumping onto the boat and being like, haha, yes.
Have at you scurvy knave! Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't felt this alive since high school.
Well, blow me down.
Chris, it's gonna be your go-to for
Oh, yeah.
for every.
I have a feeling it's going to be a thing that I say regularly on this podcast going forward.
Yeah.
Speaking of this podcast, that's been episode 7 of Alphanumeric. Be sure to check out our website, www.alphanumeric.ca. Check out our Facebook page, Alphanumeric Podcast. Abort.
Blah.
Facebook.com/alphanumeric podcast. Send us an email if you like at alphanumericpod, P-O-D, at
Do it.
outlook.com. We will be back next time with the 8th episode of ReBoot called Enzo the Smart.
The police are coming for you. We got fish.
Wow.
Yeah, that's our cue. Time's running out, guys. I nothing to do with the sirens or anything, but I really got to go. I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I am another host, NeoCal.
And I'm the otherest of hostess. I am AP Snidler.
And until next week, dun 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 dun.
Stay frosty.
Beast mode.
Someone's knocking on the door. I'm sure it's fine, but later.
Your Uber's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
ReBoot will return after these messages.